Welcome back to another mini abstract episode, and I hope you've been having lots of fun with your regular art practices. Now, for those of you who've been following me for a while, then you know that I have these little painted abstracts, and they're one of my art practices that I try to do daily, or if not daily, at least regularly. And I quite often do mine in batches over, say, a week or something like that. But if you can fit them in daily, they are a really fabulous regular exercise. Now, if you're new here, then, well, welcome. For starters, I do have a few of these to catch up with, so I will link the playlist to them below. But the general idea is that they are here to help inspire you to get painting every day, even if it's something small and quick. I mean, that's why these are so useful to do. And they're such a great place to really explore your own ways of expressing yourself. So don't feel that you ever have to copy what I'm doing. This is all about finding out what you like and the kind of marks that are within you. Now, a little bit of regular painting can go a hugely long way, and you'll surprise yourself at how fast you can build up a catalogue of these little abstracts if you can find time to do them regularly. And they can take you anything from just a few minutes to, maybe a little bit longer, going up to 5-10 minutes. Whatever fits into your day. So we've been talking about colour in the last couple of these mini abstract videos, but I have a new challenge for you today, and that is to introduce some collage into your mini abstracts. And you can do this really quickly, and I'll show you how. There are so many ways that you can add in a collage element to your pieces, and I suggest one in my free Get Creating book that you can get when you sign up to my newsletter, but today I have another way of doing it to share with you. And this is a bit more organic. So I started this piece with some random mark making with paint and brush. No real thought behind it, no design going on, I'm just adding in some marks. So I started off with some green and then moved on to some blue paint, and I'm actually using two different types of blue paint here. So the first blue that I put on, I just let it go to a dry brush, so I loaded my brush and then just moved it down my page until all the paint had come off. And then I layered over the top with an iridescent blue, and it's a great way of adding an interesting texture. Now, to add my collage element, which for me is going to be some old book page pieces, I first add some matte medium to the back of one of these page pieces. And I do this on a spare piece of paper, so just to localise any extra matte medium so it's not on my work surface. Then I can use my brush to help me decide where I actually want to place the piece. Once I've decided where I want the piece to be, then I can add some more matte medium to under the collage piece. Now, if you wanted to, you could easily just add a layer of matte medium to the whole area first. And this might be what I would do if the area was more widely painted, or if I was working on a canvas. But doing it the way I'm doing it here in this video, you get a much more localised area of matte medium, so it doesn't change the surface as much as it would if you covered a large area, which is great for when you're working on paper and you haven't already put a lot of paint on that paper. So it's just a little trick for if you want to add less matte medium or gel medium, whatever kind of medium you're using to glue your collage pieces down. It's just a handy trick for doing that and keeping that medium quite localised to the collage. Once the collage piece is down, I also go back over the top with some matte medium just to make sure you get a really good adhesion and you don't get any air bubbles or anything like that. Now, I do let my collage pieces dry a little before I add my next layer, but only really to touch dry, which didn't take long as the medium layer was really thin. And it's only paint that I'm going to be adding over the top, so it's not too difficult to do. And I'm just really playing with colour today. I'm not a great one when it comes to my greens. So, like we were discussing last week with what kind of colours we like to use, this week I thought I would just have a little play with some green colour combos. And these little mini abstracts are just a great fear-free place to play with different colour combinations. Now if the yellow looks a little green to you, then that's because I think I had some iridescent yellow-green paint on my palette alongside the yellow paint as well. And you know, it's just mixing up a little bit and giving it that little sort of light green tint that really sets off the dark green quite nicely, don't you think? And I like how it glazes over the collage and the marks on this piece. So it adds a nice touch of colour without obscuring anything that's gone before. And once I had my paint down, now this is when I did make sure that the paint was completely dry before I reached for my green ballpoint pens to give it some doodle texture. And just play around with some marks and pattern making with those pens. But if you don't let your paint dry before you put your ballpoint pen over the top, it can possibly gum up the rollerball system. So yeah, it is worth letting it dry a little. Which will add time to your mini abstracts, but if you are doing them in batches, then you can always work on another piece whilst you're letting one dry. Or what about if you did them bit by bit and just did another layer tomorrow? You could come back and try that out. So have fun with your mini abstracts using collage this week. If you want some more mixed media inspiration, then watch these videos next, and I'll see you over there.